Try again, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, guys. I'm glad y'all are here. It's going to be a good day. Today, we're going to be talking about a couple things, okay? We're going to be talking about last words. Because did you know something, like, in movies, whenever someone says their last words, their dying breath, they're trying to say something important, right? Here are some famous last words, okay? I'm sure I can jump that. Famous last words. Or other famous last words, I don't think that's poisonous. Or other famous last words, I can jump that shark. You know, famous last words. But we're going to be talking about last words today. We also going to be talking about water. Does anyone drink water? Very nice. As a teen, I would usually drink about 3 cups of water a year. I mainly lived on Dr. Pepper. But else, tonight, but the main thing we're talking about tonight, Cassidy, is how God sees you. Alright, we're going to talk through that tonight. Now, we're going to pray. Everyone bow your heads. Dear God, I thank you. Dear God, I thank you for tonight. I want your will to be done. I want your voice to be heard. We're trusting and we're looking to you. God, every single person, every man, every woman in this room needs you. So let us be defined by you. It's in your name we pray. Alright, now, so, real quick, I got some water. Is anyone thirsty? Tonight we're going to talk about this. I've told this story before, but I want y'all to hear it again, okay? So, Jesus, one time he went to this, well. And the well is this. It's a hole in the ground that has water in it, and people do buckets and they just pull out water. Okay? Jesus was at this well in the middle of the day. And this woman comes up and she starts pulling water. And Jesus asks her, he says, could I have a drink? Now this lady, no. Now this lady, she's kind of weirded out that Jesus is talking to her. why are you asking me for a drink? And he's like, here's the thing. Eyes on me. He's like this. I want a drink, but if you knew who I was, you'd be asking me for a drink. Listen.
Leave me alone.
Eyes on me. Jose. He says this. If you knew who I was, you'd ask me for a drink. And the woman's like, you don't even have a bucket. What are you talking about? And Jesus says this in John 4:13-14. He says this, John 13:14. Here we go. John 4:13-14. It's okay, Lord. John 14. John 4:13. John 4:13-14.
Shut up.
Please stop like this.
Sir, I want to move.
Okay, so I'll just tell you what it says. Jesus says this. He says this. The water you're drinking now in this well, everyone who drinks this will be thirsty again. But if you drink what I give you, you will never be thirsty again. It will become like an everlasting well inside you, bubbling up. Now here's the thing. Jesus isn't advertising his new latest water. We have life water, we have smart water, now we have Jesus water. No, not a bit. What he's talking about is this. Anytime you try to fill yourself with what the world's got, it will leave you thirsty again. But if you fill yourself with what I give you, you will never be thirsty again. Let's get into this. So, what does the world offer? What does the world offer? Before I tell you that, I want to tell you what the world sees. Okay? And we're on this series, Priceless. This is our last one. So right now I'm going to talk to the ladies a little bit, but guys, I want you to hear this too, okay? Ladies, here's how the world sees you, okay? The world sees you as less than. This is what that means. All of these guys over here are better than you. I know, right? But that's, and gentlemen, too many guys believe this. But what it truly, guys, ladies, the world sees you as less than. Worse than that, the world sees you as objects. You're not even a real human, you're just an object, something to look at. You're not, and that's how the world sees you. What else does the world see? They see you as, you physically can't do things, you're girls. You emotionally can't do things, you're girls. You mentally can't do things, you're girls. And here's what the world also sees. The world pushes judgment. They want you to be judged how you look, what you say, who you're around, who you're dating, all this stuff. And you judge yourself by that. Here's the thing. So many times in this world, women see themselves as less than, or see each other as less than. So this was hard to hear this week. We saw TikTok. In California, there was this cop. And he was responding to a situation, and he was speeding, and he hit a woman. And she flew and she died. And then, the thing we really saw was that there was this cop, another cop, talking about him in his car. And the cop was laughing. He was like, oh, it was crazy. She bounced, hit her head, and like flew like 10 feet, just laughing. And then he was like, it don't matter. Just like write a check for like $11,000. She's like a 26-year-old woman. She's not worth anything. Ladies, the world sees you as less than. And y'all eat it up. Y'all try to fill yourselves with everything the world offers. Y'all try to make yourselves feel worthy because you have a relationship, or you're worth something because you look a certain way, or you try to fill yourself with because of your success. Because you're successful, you're worth something, or because you own enough stuff, because you have money, you eat it up, you try to fill yourself with all these things. But no matter what, it will never fill you. You will always be thirsty again. Ladies, you're seen as less than. And the thing is, it seeps into the church. There are people in the church that see women as less than. Even to the point where this guy, Jesus, having this conversation with this woman, and the disciples walk up, and here's how they react. In John, are we able to do the verses? No? All right, in John 4:27, it says, the disciples walked up, saw this, and were confused and marveled that Jesus was talking to a woman. And they were like, they thought about asking questions like, why, what do you need? Why are you talking to me? Even the disciples, God's best friends, were like, this is weird. Because it doesn't happen. Now, here's the thing. Tonight's lesson, one of the lessons is, I want you to see how Jesus sees you. And you, but you. How Jesus sees you. And I'm not sure if y'all might have heard this. Like, you'll know if a boy is like going to be a good boyfriend or husband by how he treats his mom. Have y'all heard that? And it's the thing, like, if you saw me, you'd be like, oh, how you treat your mom is going to be how you treat your wife. So you're going to be very sarcastic to your wife and loving. And it's true, I am. But because I'll be sarcastic to anyone. But you can tell them. Because if they treat their mom like crap, you're less than that. You're less than. And now, if you have a question, to ask me later. But here's the thing, it is a good idea because if you can see how Jesus sees you by seeing how Jesus saw women in the Bible, you can tell how he's going to treat a woman by what we see in the Bible. Fernando, I need you to sit up. Eliza, I need you to sit up. See, because tonight's lesson is titled this, Jesus is a Feminist. That's my title for tonight. Now, here's the thing. Gentlemen, this is what I grew up, the word feminist was like a dirty word. Feminist in my mind meant this. Loud women who are ungrateful and demand more and think women are better than men. That's what I was taught. But the reality of feminist means this. It means an advocate, someone who stands up for women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes. Because Jesus didn't see women as less than, he saw them as equal. Jesus sees you as equal. Here, if we know how Jesus treated women in the Bible, we'll see how he treated you. So in the Bible, Jesus protected women. Jesus empowered women. He made sure that he gave them a voice. He spoke up. Jesus honored women publicly. He wasn't just like, I'm going to treat you nice in private. In front of everyone, he honored women. Jesus, when he confided in women, he trusted them. He talked to them. Jesus, he was funded by women. That meant, while Jesus was out preaching, doing his thing, talking to people, there were women women working, making that dough so that they could help, fund and feed Jesus, basically. Women took care of him. Jesus celebrated women by name. He was bragging on you. He will brag on you. Jesus learned from women. He was taught by women. Jesus respected women. And that's a big thing. Respected women. And girls, if you're not respected, it's not okay. And Jesus spoke of women as examples to follow. And I don't say this. Jesus told women to follow women examples. Jesus told all of us to follow the examples of these women. Jesus did all this. Why don't we? Gentlemen, why don't we? Why don't we treat women? Now here's the thing. Ladies, I'm going to tell you this. Whoever you're going to find yourself with later on in life, eyes on me, eyes on me. Whoever you find yourself later, you need to make sure they're not doing this. If godly men or women are in your life, they would not do this, okay? Jesus would not discourage you from following your calling. So many people will say women shouldn't speak in church, women shouldn't be pastors, women shouldn't follow whatever God's calling you to be. That is a lie. That's not of Jesus. Jesus would not encourage you to stay in an abusive relationship. Let me say that again, ladies. Jesus would not encourage you to stay with someone who's treating you like crap. Physically, verbally, mentally. Jesus would not do that. Jesus would not objectify women. You are not, and your body is not anything for anyone. It is yours. You are not an object. Jesus would not encourage you not to report a sexual assault. Jesus would not encourage you to hide that because he cares about you and wants you to find freedom and healing, and he wants justice for you. Jesus would not hold your past against you. No matter what you've done in the past, no matter what's happened, Jesus does not hold it against you. Now listen to this. That woman at the well, I want to give you some context, some backstory, okay? This woman, she was a Samaritan. Everyone say Samaritan. Now this Samaritan woman, and Jesus was a Jew. The Samaritans and Jews hated each other. Hated each other. So a Jewish man would not talk to a Samaritan man. But this Jewish man was talking to a Samaritan woman. And not only this woman, Jesus kind of talked to her, and he already knew this, but she had 5 different husbands. And now here's the thing. A lot of people through history have said, oh, she's like gone, she's a woman, just goes through men. But the reality, at that day and age, women could not divorce men. Men could divorce women. So if she got divorced 5 times, that means she was rejected, then rejected, and then rejected, and then rejected. And then, the time of day. She was getting water in the afternoon when it's hot. All the women would go in the morning, get water when it's nice and cool out. But she had to avoid the women because all of the women judged her. But when she came to God, to Jesus, he did not judge her. There was nothing she could have done in her past to shape how he saw her. He loved her anyway. He spoke life into her. And the reality is, after that moment, her life was changed. She didn't go back to her same old things. She didn't go back to trying to fill herself with the world. She changed. And she actually became a messenger for God. She went home and told guys, God is here. He is here. He is here, guys. Oh my goodness, Jesus is here. And she grabbed all her friends and took them to her. And she spoke life and empowered people because Jesus empowered her. You want to know how Jesus sees women? Look at the Bible. He empowers you. He encourages you. He honors you. He will confide in you. He will celebrate you. He will learn. He will respect you. And the same thing goes for how you need to treat yourselves. And how, if you have a relationship, they need to treat you. If they're not, gentlemen, I love you guys. And I say this because I didn't. Because I struggled with a lot of things, and I objectified women, and I hurt women, and I did all the things you're not supposed to. We gotta be better. We gotta treat women like they're meant to be. Because all the other stuff will leave you thirsty. But whenever you trust God and honor women, God will fill you with something that will never go away. Y'all are meant to be defined by Him. Loving, honoring. And I say, like, and as humanity, we've come a long way. Women, women can vote now. Y'all can't, but women can. Y'all can have jobs. Y'all don't get paid as much. Again, sexism. And we're moving towards it. But there's a long way to go. And y'all are the generation here. Y'all are going to be the ones that either treat women like trash and less than, or you're going to lift them up. And women, y'all are either going to treat each other like trash, or treat yourself like trash, or let other people treat you like trash, or you're going to lift yourself up as God would. I want you to see you how Jesus sees you. And this is the last thing for tonight. When you come to God, we still have, John 13, 34 through 35. I know we don't have it, but there's the verse. It says this. It was the last words of Jesus before he went to go die on the cross. He was talking to his buddies. It's one of his last words. He's like, guys, come here. And he's nervous because he's going to die. And he knows the pain is going to happen. And these are his last words. He says, I got a new commandment for you. Love each other like I have loved you. Love each other like I have loved you. And here's the thing. The world is going to know you are my people by how you love. Women, y'all are called to love your friends, love the people. Y'all are called to love the people in the other row that you got issues with. Y'all are supposed to care for each other. Y'all are supposed to care for these guys, even if they're not worthy. Gentlemen, y'all are called to love each other and be kind to each other, even if y'all aren't worthy. And y'all are supposed to be loving and kind to these ladies as well. Doesn't matter what people do. Doesn't matter. I think you are called to love like God has loved. So here's what we're going to do. As a practice. And if you haven't caught on, the reason why I did this lesson is I really had some really stuff for y'all, and I had some stuff for you guys, and I thought it was best like this. But also this. In a moment, we're going to stand up. Not yet. Just so I saw you excited. In a moment, we're going to stand up. And here's what I want you to do. Ladies, I want you to hold the hand of the person next to you. I don't usually do this because I know it's awkward. But here's the thing. Y'all are going to come together as one. Loving and caring for each other. Even if you don't know them. Because y'all are supposed to be loving. And guys, I know your hands are sweaty. But we're going to stand up. And we're going to hold hands. And we're going to pray. And now here's the big challenge. You're going to be praying for the person to your right and to your left. Okay? Awesome. Now go ahead. Eyes on me. And here's the thing for you. If you don't know that you're loved, if you've never realized that Jesus loves you and cares for you and will empower you and protect you, take care of you. If you don't know that and you've never known that, eyes on me, stop messing. If you've never known that, we're going to pray a prayer. And if you want to accept that love that Jesus has for you, we're going to take that moment and accept Jesus' love in our hearts, okay? Even if it's your first time or 10th time, whatever matter, if you know you haven't been identified because you've been drinking out of all this stuff of the world that's not going to fill you, and you want that bubbling, eternal spirit that God has for you to know your love. We're going to do that, okay? So everyone stand up, bow your heads, hold the hand of the person next to you. All right, bow your heads, close your eyes, shut your mouth, all that good stuff. Dear God, every single person in this room is not defined by what the world offers, but should be and can be defined by your love. Every woman in this room is not defined by how the world sees them, but how you see them. settle for less. And all these gentlemen that are here, God, they are defined by how you call them to live and how you see them in their brokenness and you love them anyway. We want to be defined by you and your love. And we trust in you, and we need you, and we ask that you move in our hearts. God, I pray right now that your Spirit fall, and these students feel that they know that they're loved. God, I pray that they're praying for the people next to them who are going through stuff and hurting. God, I pray that they actually care for the other people, because the world is going to know that we are yours by how we love one another, how we love each man and woman in this room. That is how people are going to know we are yours. So we trust you and ask that you work. And for those who want, and I'm going to ask everyone to say this together, because no one prays along. But I'm going to ask everyone to repeat after me if you want, not only if you want this, but even if you want to support the people that do. If you're a habit guys that speak it. But we're going to accept God's Spirit, God's life, the fact that He defines us, not our past, giving our lives and our future to Him. So if that's you, and if I encourage us all to pray, I want it to be together. Let's repeat after me. Dear Jesus, thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving me even though I'm not worth it. Even though I've messed up. Even though I've turned against you. You've never turned against me. And you see me in a new way. And I want to feel that in my heart. I want to see that in my life. I want to be changed by you. Come into my life. Let me be changed